As Minister for Climate Action in the Irish Government, I'm really happy to support and welcome this European Commission campaign promoting the European Green Deal. It's critical that we go to Glasgow next year as a European Union working together to try and meet the objectives set out in the Paris Climate Agreement to save the world tipping into runaway, disastrous climate change. The European Union is going about it the right way in my mind. It's set each country the goal of setting its own national plan to show how we meet the targets. They're clear now. We have to get to zero emissions, net zero emissions by 2050, and I believe we have to be more than halfway there in the next 10 years if we're to stop runaway climate change. That's why the government has a commitment to a 7% per annum reduction in emissions over the next 10 years. It means changing everything, changing the way we move around, changing the way we generate waste, changing how we get energy, changing how we get food, how we farm, what sort of forestry we have, how we look after nature. Biodiversity crisis and climate crisis go together. The European Green Deal addresses both by giving funding, which help us get out of the immediate COVID crisis and meet these two long-term challenges. So I want to wish you well and wish this campaign well, and look forward to working with the European Commission and others and everyone here at home to deliver on this, the greatest challenge of our time, to stabilise our climate, to restore nature, to bring economic recovery after the COVID crisis by investing in these two critical areas. Thank you.
Ireland is world renowned for its environment, its green landscapes, stunning coastal waters, rolling hills and fertile soils. Protecting this environment is crucial to our future and to ensure clean air, safe drinking water and healthy, wholesome food that has a great reputation around the world. At the same time, Ireland has performed below the European average when it comes to protecting the environment in several key areas. This is true for carbon emissions, where Ireland is on course to miss key targets. The Irish public is very aware of the threats posed by climate change and environmental breakdown, with 93% saying that protecting the environment is important. The government is taking action with its plans set out in the programme for government. Europe has an important role to play too, not least as environmental problems do not stop at national borders. To give a flavour of what can be accomplished together, my office has compiled a collection of 12 stories highlighting the ambition and impact of action taking place around Ireland and where EU support has played a key role. The stories give a flavour of the breadth and depth of challenges and opportunities ahead, from protecting endangered species to boosting recycling, and from promoting sustainable farming to cleaning up our oceans.
The EU funding has enabled us to really work not only with the boats, with the harbours, because it's a very important synergy, because even if you pick up litter and bring it ashore, you need to have the facilities in place. So the funding has assisted us to provide some budget for the appropriate disposal of this extra marine litter. To date, the industry have collected over 400 tonnes, and that's an expensive disposal item. So the EU money has helped us, create new connections between the vessels and the harbours and have a joint objective of having a clean ocean and a clear environment for all.
Restoring biodiversity is a key action of the Green Deal. In Ireland, thanks to the EU, our project is restoring some of the EU's most precious, its most rare and its most fragile habitats. Raised Bog. EU funding has enabled Ireland to restore, rehabilitate and improve its environmental obligations. Ireland is reconnecting with nature locally, and this reconnection will be felt across the continent and indeed felt globally. And this connection would not be possible were it not for the involvement of the EU and Ireland's membership of the European Commission. It's vital that Ireland as a nation reconnects and restores and rehabilitates its nature before it's too late. And thankfully, the EU's involvement and funding programmes like the LIFE programme has made that possible.
The EU has been absolutely essential to support the conservation of wild birds and habitats in Ireland. Projects and programmes like the EU LIFE Interreg and Curlew Innovation Partnerships have all provided essential funding for substantial conservation projects. Species which have benefited from these programs include the roseate tern, curlew, the hen harrier, corncrake, but also habitats like peatlands. And in most of these projects we're working really closely with farmers to support them to farm in a way that helps these species, and their support and involvement is absolutely critical too.
To wrap up, it's vital that we deliver a Green Deal for Europe, a package of far-reaching reforms and policy initiatives to make the EU the world's first climate-neutral continent. Our living environment can no longer be taken for granted. Urgent action is required to prevent irreversible damage to our planet. By working together, there's a great opportunity to build a brighter, more sustainable future.